Hello and welcome to my channel, Butterfly Boy Tarot. My name is Andy, and in this channel, our divine goal is to accept every invitation for transformation and to allow our inner child to light the way forward. Under the guidance and support, of course, of our divine parents that live within us, our divine feminine and masculine. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon. And I am taking bookings at this time, and you can get that information or my website link through the Linktree link that is in the description of this video that also holds all my other social medias as well. I offer general tarot readings, I offer mediumship readings, I also do soul retrieval work and entity extraction work. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Don't forget to comment and let me know if this reading resonates with you, and if you receive or claim this reading in any way. I would love to hear that and converse with you on that accord. And without further ado, let's go Libra. I recorded a video for you guys that was posted yesterday. I think I'm going to take it down and just revisit that energy fresh and new with new cards, because I kept trying to record it and it kept messing up, which sort of led me to the epiphany of my new name change, Butterfly Boy Tarot, and sort of the ethos that I wanted to embody for my channel. And I'm feeling very inspired. I'm feeling very energized. So let's go ahead and get into it, okay? Guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, beings of love and light, Sophia Council of Christ, thank you. We call upon you at this time. Archangels, Archangel Michael, we call upon you to protect against any distorting energies and or intentions. Divine, we are calling upon you to bring forth the energy of the collective of Libra. What does Libra need to hear today? We are so very blessed and thankful for this opportunity to connect. Ooh, okay. The Emperor in the reverse came out yesterday as well, so I'm not surprised that it's coming out. Guides, angels, ancestors, thank you so much. We are so very blessed. What do we need to hear for Libra? What do we need to hear for Libra? Ooh, okay. What do we need to hear for Libra? If you guys hear children playing in the background, I literally live right next to a Hasidic Jewish school, and I guess it's recess time like half the day for them. But I kind of like the ambiance of it all. Let me know what you guys think of it. What does Libra need to hear today, Divine? We are so grateful, thank you. Oof, okay. These are all cards that came out yesterday, so I'm so happy that we are revisiting this reading. Yes. Okay. So our crowning energy of this reading is the Emperor in the reverse, Aries energy. Now, when I see this card, and when I connect to this card in the reverse, a lot of times readers will absorb a message from this card that is of the worst of the worst when it comes to the Emperor. But you see, I don't see that. I see a release of control, especially when it's paired with this Four of Swords in the reverse. There is a divine release of control that is finally allowing you to feel into what you are experiencing, rather than needing to understand every cliff notes of every angle of every possible vantage point of your situation before you take action or before you feel confident in the steps you are taking, Libra. Many of you are breaking free of allowing yourself to take direction, is what I'm hearing from the divine. You're coming to realizations, epiphanies about how you have taken direction subconsciously or consciously, meaning somebody may have directly told you, hey, do this, Libra, or why don't you do it this way? And because of your respect for this person, you allowed yourself to be navigated in that way. Many of you guys, it was unconscious, picking up on what that person telepathically or energetically, what that person desired from you, and trying to intellectually form and shape yourself to fit that mold. And with the Knight of Cups in the reverse, you're realizing where your efforts are not being seen. There's a huge what I'm feeling as a Libra myself. A huge, I want to say, awakening in the collective of Libra around unmet efforts, meaning where you have put effort in, where you've put blood, sweat, and tears into efforts and felt them being unrecognized or unappreciated or unrewarded, right? The Knight of Cups in the reverse is speaking to your inability to hold enough space within your emotional body to bring your intellectual mind to the table after your emotional deepening and emotional intelligence, meaning using your beautiful, captivating, amazing mind to drive and enforce what the heart is speaking. So this is also speaking to an incoherence when it comes to understanding what it is that you feel, being able to communicate it, rather than allowing your mind to step in and say, hey, we don't know what's going on, but there's some kind of emotional feeling here and we're going to protect you. So we're going to basically come from a strictly logical standpoint here. And this robbed you of opportunities for intimacy. So many of you have been deprived of intimacy. That's something that has come up before. So many of us as Libras, forgive me. Whenever I say you, please replace it with us. I will try to be conscious about that. But what I am noticing is for many of you, it's relationships where you're realizing that it's not even the other person's fault. Many of you guys are coming out of conflicts where you attributed the wrongs done against you, or the wrongs which you perceived were done against you, as crimes against you. Right? Simple and plain. However, there's a understanding of how you yourself have almost positioned yourself in a way where that could happen, where you've positioned yourself in a way where you would be made vulnerable to these kinds of events because your mind is trying to take over the show. And this is, again, this is revisiting yesterday's energy, and this is just being shot in a different way and kind of with a refreshed perspective as I've gotten some rest since then. And there's new unions, new friendships. I'm hearing new soul family bonds that are being formed at this time and that are being strengthened at this time. That is allowing Libra to be made aware of all the ways in which the mind is robbing you. You're wondering why you always get the 9 of Swords or the 3 of Swords. Because Libra's notorious for pulling those cards. And it's because your lack of emotional depth that has been eclipsed by the overactive mind. Again, the name of the game is transformation on this channel. Okay, so if you're really wanting to bring in those blessings, to align yourself with the best possible future outcome, hear the words of the divine here. There's a reason that you're feeling intensity in your heart center. The Hierophant in the reverse is showing you how long are you going to try and fit into the molds, plural, that the Matrix has set forth. When are you going to realize that you do not belong to this system, my loves? Libras are about justice, and there is nothing just about the structures that we live in. So live beyond them. But that takes courage. Your masculine is tired. For many of you guys, this transformation that the divine is speaking through me is agitating individuals around you. For some of you, this is referring to your masculine's insecurity. Where does an overactive mind come from? What sort of environment or what climate does that divine masculine come from? You don't even know where to start, Libra. You've overcome much. But what does that really mean? You've overcome many events and you've come out looking and feeling shiny. But are you still holding on? Is your mind creating more and more ego structures to protect you from the pain and the hurt that you've once experienced by adding fuel to the fire of an overactive mind? Taking up all the space. All the analytical space is being taken up by the mind, and did we know that the heart is the first and primary mind? You see, it is through your power of word and through your power of communication and through your power of thought and processing that you or we, Libras, create really beautiful things in the world, and that we are able to really show up in our highest power. However, the mind is nothing without the heart. Nothing. And we don't need to know everything. We don't need to know everything about every situation that is unfolding in our lives, every story, every sub-story, every character, every line. We don't need to know everything. We don't need to obsess about everything. We've done enough reflecting as it is. Now it's time to have a bit of faith. I just heard Kundalini awakening. This is going to really spark some Kundalini awakenings in some of you guys. This heart work. Which finally allows you to release programs that have been holding you back, but have been disguised as protective mechanisms to keep you from becoming hurt. Libras are coming to a whole new level of self-awareness, and it's beautiful. Allowing your divine feminine space. When the divine masculine steps in and is over-intellectual and is thinking things into the ground and is planning and is trying to get every tactical aspect, right? A great leader, a great warrior, or a great emperor, they can sit and plot and plan till the cows come home and all the land has already been taken by emperors of other lands that have been tactful and have planned, but took action as well. What I mean by saying this is when your masculine is in a place of overthinking, of constantly contemplating and planning and trying to assess every little thing that happens, you leave less room for the feminine to receive and to nurture and to grow. And you're finally letting your walls down so that your feminine can be seen. Friendships, relationships, so many relationships around you are deepening to a level you didn't even know was possible because you hadn't tasted that fruit yet. You don't know what it tastes like. You don't know what it's like. You didn't, and now you do. You realize that this is the door and the portal from which everything you have been asking for comes through. The divine has not been holding it from you. You have been wounded, not realizing that even though you feel yourself to be shiny, Libra, you have been through some shit. And this has created infrastructures in your mind that prevent you from truly feeling, from allowing the feminine. Look at the way he's looking at that feminine. This is your masculine looking at the feminine. Your masculine is insecure in the face of the feminine. Your masculine isn't sure that it can really deliver to the feminine because she speaks a foreign language to him, because he is coming only from here. And it's quite perfect that he has a bandage over his head. What else do we have for Libra Divine? Thank you so much. And what's next, Libra? You're finally becoming aware of what has been gestating behind the curtain. It's a terrible way to say it, but you're finally being aware of what is unfolding. Because before you had an obsessive desire to understand what is coming, what is unfolding, where is this going, why? It hasn't come in for me yet, why? Now you're finally understanding through the realizations of this, through the realizations of the heart. You're finally realizing, oh my gosh, now I see. Nothing that would have come would have mattered because it wouldn't have been enough for me. I would have continued to try and fill this void. And I will take the good with the bad. I will take the pain with the ecstasy. I will take it all. If that means that I'm feeling I'm alive. I'm hearing Rain on Me by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande. And the Two of Pentacles. This is you, finally, this is your divine masculine and this is your feminine. You're looking at your feminine like, I see you, I see exactly what you've been wanting to live. Our inner child is the one that creates and the one that is able to really be an innovator in this world. And our divine masculines and feminines, they come into the picture as we become grown, as we grow into adulthood. They come into the picture to help protect. They're the wisdom that is brought to that childlike energy. But when they're out of balance, when they have been taught and programmed into submission or into wounding or into imbalance, then who is to watch after that inner child? Who is to allow that inner child to fully meet its beautiful vision? And this is your inner child. And it's holding both of these keys. Think about going to the laundromat, putting coins in. Let's pull some tea leaf cards and see what specific information comes up for some of you. Guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters of love and light only. Thank you. We have control your anger or you will be sorry. I definitely am feeling this is trigger season for Libra, but what a blessing that is. What a blessing that is. Because it's bringing all up to the surface everything that does not resonate. See, broken ring. Parting of ways of either romance or business. There is a lot of transformation coming in as you guys become more coherent in your emotional bodies and feeling. Crib. Birth of or conception of an enterprise. A lot of this is really lighting the way. So many of you guys are wanting to create channels or wanting to create content, or you're wanting to create businesses and really like find your unique path in this world, but you've been struggling. You've tried things and things haven't worked out, but they will now. because you're bringing something to the table that you couldn't before, you didn't before. Yesterday, I pulled the Magician card, finally having that last piece of that ritual or spell, right? That cup, that emotional energy is exactly what this magician needs to perform his magic. I also heard yesterday in the reading, and I just want to repeat it, manipulation is a weak man's alchemy. So your mind will want to manipulate and make you feel. How many times have we Libras convinced ourselves that we've had a major transformation, or that we could convince ourselves of anything because our minds are that powerful? And then when you couple that with a trauma formed mind, all bets are off. But the beauty about this is we're understanding this as we're transforming and alchemizing this, and therefore we are able to really help others the way we need it to be helped. Putting things in a particular way and backing it with that emotional passion or that emotional depth that allows it to really ring gong, an exciting event. Ooh. Cain, pay attention to your health. Your body is speaking to you. These are all, a lot of these cards came out yesterday. So I really am being confirmed in the messages that I received yesterday and I'm bringing back to the table today, because your emotional bodies, your chakras are speaking to you. I'm getting a lot of energy work that is needed to be done, and balancing that is needed to be done in the heart chakra, the solar plexus, and the throat. Let's pull a postcard from Spirit and wrap up this reading for you, Libras. Dearest you, let us ask you, are you looking for happiness outside of your everyday moment-to-moment experience? Thinking you will find happiness out there someday? So many go chasing the magic it out there, but it never could be found out there. So we want to share a secret that shouldn't be a secret. You are pure joy. What made you is pure joy. And every time you wake up, and even when you sleep, you have joy waiting to be expressed inside you. Joy and happiness and fullness come from doing joy, being joy, knowing it, cultivating it, and lighting it up in your heart. So you will finally be free, and your joyful being and actions will turn you into a beacon of starlight. Look within and be joyful for even the tears and loss, for they mean you have lived, really lived. Jump into it all and love every minute. I mean, come on, you guys. If that is not a very, very shortened version of this reading, I don't know what was. And we accept and receive this confirmation. Again, thank you for visiting my channel. Don't forget to click that bell icon as you subscribe. Again, this is Butterfly Boy Tarot, where the name of the game is transformation. And I'm holding space for you to find that true for yourself. God bless you guys. If you're interested in booking a reading, click that link tree, comment, or email me.